Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be back with another young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Aarushi Anand. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Aarushi.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I would really like to thank you for this opportunity. I am really, really grateful to be a part of this. And maybe by the end of this conversation, I'll also have better clarity on life. So, starting on, I am in Hindu College, right across the street from yours, St. Stephen's. Uh, I think the rivalry has not been that great as of now. It's like we do not really hear of it. So coming back to my introduction, I am pursuing two degrees. My regular degree from Hindu, B.Sc Zoology with a minor in chemistry, and the other one from SOL DU, that is psychology honors. I want to become a researcher in neuroscience. So how did I end up here? I'll start from the beginning. When I was in eighth, I was introduced to the proper functioning of UN. We had an MUN, it's like a simulation of the United Nations, and I got really interested in that. As well as I was interested in the mental health area and psychology, basically. So I believe that it kind of runs in my blood because my mother did her PhD in emotional intelligence, and my mama, my maternal uncle, uh, he is an NLP trainer. Also, I think for the fact that my mother got me into meditation and stuff at a very young age, I was probably 5 or 6. So that made me really inclined towards psychology. So in my eighth standard, I was really clear that I'll take humanities with psychology because it combines both of my interests, UN and the mental health. So, but then in 10th, I was here, and my parents sat me down and said, "You're a very brilliant child. You should continue with science and not humanities. You should take science." And I was fairly convinced by that argument that, okay, I'll take science. So I took PCB with psychology. Now, a lot of people say that science is not science is not easy, and it's not actually. And but I feel like science has given me a lot of perspective, a lot of curiosity, a lot of asking the question why. I look for logic. I even in the psychological area. I ask a lot of whys now that if this is happening, why? If the person responded this way, then why is that and stuff. So I think it's because of science because it gave me a lot of perspective. I don't think so. It will come from a person who would not be doing that great in school. So they'll be like, no, science, we shouldn't have taken science and stuff. But I think it went great for me. I got good marks. So I look at it in a positive way. And I really don't regret taking it. And I thank my parents for telling me to take. But then when I was in 11th, I did not go to any coaching or anything. Even in my whole life, I've never done any tuitions or anything like that. Even not taken any help from my parents. For the matter of fact, they both of them were working, and I'm a single child. Uh, Although they were very ready with the help and the guidance that I needed always. So I did not go to coaching because I thought my parents will tell me, if you do coaching, then give NEET and do MBBS. So I was like, no, I don't want to become a doctor. So I did not go for any coaching of that sort. And then I realized that it's not about coaching, it's about how well you understand the subject. And I pretty much understood everything that I was studying. So at the end, my parents said, please go try giving NEET once. And I said, no, I won't give NEET because I don't want to become a doctor at any cost. I would like to do PhD. I would like to become a doctor in that way, but not an MBBS doctor. And I was always clear that I want to do something in the field of psychology. um, and then I also think that the neuroscience stream that I'm going for is very interdisciplinary, and so are my interests. Like I am interested in neuromarketing. I'm interested in social entrepreneurship or like social services and stuff like that. So I could relate neuro with everything, like neuromarketing or anything like that. So that also ignited interest in me. But I found out that it is not a very prevalent stream in India. In fact, when I was in my 11th and 12th standard, I was inclined towards biotechnology. And since COVID was at that time, so in a lot of trend. But then I found out that even after COVID, biotechnology is not a very prevalent stream in India, and people do not go for it a lot. And that was a real shocker for me, because people are pursuing MBBS, BTech, and corporate fields, and nobody's going for the unconventional ones. And I think you will be able to tell better, since you've seen both the cultures of India as well as the Western culture, about how the culture shapes our mindset about choosing a stream, or how much freedom do we have to choose something on our own, or of a career, and you know um, what shapes our minds regarding that.
Well, let me come in here. Um, you know, you have to learn where you best fit,
Right.
because you can't just say, I mean, yes, you can. If you are really very smart and very good and hardworking, motivated, you can say, I don't care about the external circumstances. I will do it my way. And some very, very few people do succeed in that, and they are spectacular successes. Okay. They do it their way. You can see plenty of examples of that everywhere.
Right.
But if you are not in that superstar elite group of maybe 0.5%,
I
then
agree.
then you have to fit in some way, right? And the way you fit in really depends upon you. Where do you want to fit in? And what are your options? So yes, even in the US, you have to fit in. Nobody is going to tell you when young people ask me, I'm going for the interview, what should be my approach? And my answer is to most people, you have to show them that you can be a team player. Nobody's
Right.
asking you your great new ideas on how to change the company or to change the NGO. They just want you to come in and fit in with the rest of the team. Be creative, of course, but please fit in with the team. So you have to fit in. So that's what I would say. And I think the emphasis is more in India on fitting in than in the US. And that fitting in can be sometimes very difficult to find in India because the options are less. So, okay, that's my answer.
Yes, I agree with you, because in India, uh, even my parents told me to take science, although for me it turned out to be a good decision. But there are a lot of people, even the engineers and even pass outs from good colleges, they're not getting jobs, and they're not finding their motivation to do something in life, because when we want to do something else and we are doing something else, so it creates a barrier in our minds, and we are not able to function that properly. um, Also, the thing that you said about creativity, I think creativity is something that gets you very far in life. If you are creative enough, then you can do a lot of things. I mean, it doesn't necessarily be your career. Like, for example, I have never looked career in terms of money. And I've always felt like I'm creative enough to do something else for money, and maybe my career option can be something else. Like, I want to be a researcher, and I know that the pay scale of researchers, particularly in India, is not that high. And in Western countries, the scenario is different. Uh, but I've always felt like, since I'm creative enough, I can do a lot of things. Like, for example, in my school, I was the editor in chief of a newspaper, of the school newspaper. I am currently in the ed board of my department, and I like to do all the creative stuff, writing and everything. And I think creativity has helped me a lot with, I think, the career anxiety that I've always had, because I could not really find a way, like, I could not navigate my career in the Indian perspective, because it was something different and not the conforming careers. So that was a problem. Um, Also, the fact that I do not really like to conform, and I always like to do the unconventional stuff. Like, for example, when I was in 10th, we had an option of choosing a second language, and the option for me was Hindi and French. So I took French, and a lot of people were leaving French because you have to give boards in French and get good marks. And I was like, I took that as a challenge. I was like, no, I'll do it. I'll complete it. I'll not leave anything midway. So there are like a lot of things that I do, and I think a part of reason that I do a lot of things like editing, music, and anything like that is because I am very, very unsure about the career field in India, and that gives a lot of anxiety and stress. But I think with creativity, I can navigate that out. Um, I would really like to hear your thoughts on, how can one navigate through the career fields in India, given the challenges and given the societal challenges, basically.
Well, to be honest, I have not lived in India for so many years that it's difficult for me to give anything specific. But
Right.
I think you won't have any issues. I'm
Okay.
not talking to you as an individual because you have shown that you've already achieved what people are looking for, that you know your mind and you can achieve a lot. I mean, still, you haven't told us about the 2 degrees that you are doing simultaneously, but it's mind blowing. And so people know that you are very hardworking, very motivated, and very bright. What more does anybody want? Nothing more. So they've already got on your CV or your resume that you were doing science. Well, that's a big deal. Not engineering, but science. Science is even harder than engineering because it's so abstract. Engineering, at least you have a real world problem. Engineering is about real world problems. Science is about who knows what.
Right.
Okay. Something abstract, something that doesn't have any immediate application, right? And then you are also doing your hobbies and co-curriculars, and you are doing another course. I think you should forget stress. I think you are doing enough, and what happens is that people take their time out to do internships. Why? Because
Yes.
the courses are easy. There's time to do internships, and they learn there. But you are learning from many other things. So it's the same attitude, the same, what should I say, decision that courses, yeah, okay, fine, I can do it. Right? What else is there? Right? Then you found your own niche of what else is there, whether it's in the art side, the right side of your brain, the left side, that's your science and mathematics and whatever it is. And then there's the right side of your brain, and then there's the match of the two. So I think you are done. You are set for whatever it is that you want to decide. You still have, I think, a couple of years in BA, in a B.Sc in college, but I don't think you have any issues. Okay. But tell us about this other thing that you are doing, the other degree.
Right. So as I said that choosing a stream as I didn't want to become a doctor, so I was figuring out what can I do with my PCV degree, and I did not want it to be a waste of time. Like 2 years I studied science, and then I do psychology honors. That you can do anyway. Like even if you're not studying psychology, you can do BA psychology in India. So I was like, I genuinely wanted this to be at use, and uh, I wanted genuinely wanted to go into the neuroscience field, like psychology, but the scientific way. Also, the fact that in India we look psychology as more of an humanities field, so there are, I think no government colleges which provide BSc psychology or anything like that. So the scope of courses in bachelor's degrees, it's very less. So I decided, so I had two options, psychology honors from DU and zoology honors from DU. And so I was just thinking one day and I thought that maybe when I do zoology, after that I'll be able to do MA psychology or MPhil psychology. It's something that I do after BA psychology. But if I'll do BA psychology at once, I'll not be able to pursue the scientific careers. So I thought that maybe let's take BSc zoology. And then since I liked psychology so much, and honestly, what happened was in school, when you take science, you are kind of the at you're the top at the top level. Like people look up to you and they feel like you're the most intelligent. And it's not like that in DU, because in DU, commerce fields are more prevalent, like economics or commerce. So the scenario completely changed in my first year of college, and I felt very much intimidated by these economics people, that they get internships so easily and then they do this and they do that. They have a career plan sorted out, that they'll do MBA and stuff. So I was very intimidated. Then I thought, if I want to pursue neuroscience, then I'll do it. Uh, then I'll go in the depth and I'll do it nicely. So then my friend introduced me that you can do 2 degrees at once, one from the SOL and one from regular. Like regular, as in I go to college daily and study for zoology. And SOL degrees, we have online classes once in a while, and you have to give the exams at the end. That's it. So
What is this SOL? I've not heard of it.
all right, sorry. So SOL is School of Open Learning from DU. There are other government universities which provide the same opportunities. So I am particularly doing my BA Psychology honors from DU SOL. That's the open learning of the school. So that's distance learning education.
Well, it's very impressive that, you know, it's not two fields, it's 2 degrees at the
Yeah.
same time. So that's great. All right, let's continue.
Yes. So uh, the fact that ignited my interest in neuroscience, as I already mentioned, was the interdisciplinary approach. So, like for example, right now I'm also a part of this society called Enactus in our college, which is a
Yes,
social entrepreneurship society.
yes.
So I am very much interested in that as well. And I got introduced to the supply chains and business
Mm,
models and entrepreneurship, and I was very much interested in that. And my friend told me that, marketing is something that you will do good at, because it also contains a lot of psychology. And people in humanities says that, human behavior, we always have to study, because whenever we study something about politics or history or something, so I've always found it to be interdisciplinary. It's something that will always, you can shake hands with anybody with this knowledge, and you can always be a part of in the conversation with this approach. So my friend introduced me to this marketing wali thing, and then we started looking in the neuromarketing field, and we were uh, reading the researches, because we wanted to write a research paper, and we found out that biopsychology, especially, not just psychology, not just the cognition, not just the perception,
mm.
but the activity of your brain influences your marketing choices. So that really fascinated me, and that also that motivated me more to continue in this.
Mm.
And I don't know that will I be able to earn a lot in this field, but I know for sure that I'll be doing something new and doing something that I like. So I'll be happy. And as I already said, I've never seen money in the career making, in choosing a career. I always felt like, nowadays you have a lot of options to make money or earn money. Like technology, you can use technology in a good way to make money, or you can write books and earn royalty for that. You can do a small business and uh, leave it to people, and like I mean, automated, it can go into automated mode and you can earn a lot. But doing something that you like in your career is not a privilege that everybody gets. So I chose that.
Okay. Well, I think, honest, from listening to you, I think you are a candidate. Think about it, for a good master's degree from a top university,
Right.
in which you can get the kinds of the combination that you are looking for. Because Right now, it's all self-help, right? You're putting it together yourself. And
Right.
it's commendable, but it's not enough for you. You
Okay.
need to be in a place where they say, fine, this is it. Let's get you into a little bit more in-depth and more serious, and you can take these kinds of courses. See where you can find a fit. You have time on your side right now. So you can begin to look now, and you can begin to cold mail professors,
Right.
because cold mail means 1 out of 10 will reply.
Yes.
But 1 out of 10, you will get a reply. I think it's time to start planning it.
Okay.
Yeah, time to
Well,
start
thank you
planning
so
it
much.
and see where you can get a reply. And do it yourself because you're quite capable of it. Maybe, I don't think there'll be any professors in India who can help you.
Okay.
Maybe there are, I don't know. But if they're not, it's okay. You can, these days, young people like you have the internet at your fingertips, and you can ask even ChatGPT,
Right.
which are the universities where I will be allowed to do it. And ChatGPT may give you a 50% right answer. Okay, it's okay. You can do it. All right. So that's what I would say. So please don't do it anymore on self-help.
Hmm.
Get someone to put you in it, because you are in an unusual position, an
Right.
unusual, what should I say, uh, skills.
Right.
Because 99, everybody is done everything with coaching. But for you, like coaching, no, why should I do it? I'm good, all right? This is very unusual to hear it and to see it and to do it actually. Uh, you've gone far with it. So I would say just think of a degree abroad. I mean, don't feel embarrassed about it. Oh my God, I'm leaving India and all. Fine. I mean, the world is your oyster these days. Everybody in India is looking abroad. Why not you? And see
Right.
if you can get a good fit. See what they do. And that will, you can always come back to India. That's not an issue. But really, I think exceptional students India cannot handle. And exceptional, I mean not, okay, somebody is super at mechanical engineering. Yes, India can handle. But if
Right.
somebody is like here and there and has so many things, then the system isn't set up for it. Okay, let me stop talking. Let's listen to you.
Uh, well, I am looking for a master's in abroad, and also I'd like to do my PhD also from outside. And since you talked about the environment in India for exceptional students, I think other than the policies that India is making, let's say new education policy, or other than the political aspect or the educational situation in India, it's the mindset of the people that restrict them from doing this exceptional stuff. Like, for example, people are not very accepting if you're not conforming to them in India.
Right,
Like if you're not, yes.
right. I agree. I know. I'm fully on board with it. In fact, this whole channel is to defy them and say, listen, you think you know everything and you don't want juniors to speak. I will contradict you and I'll have a channel in which the juniors speak and I listen. Because they know what they are talking about. They know what they are, and you don't. Because in our times we had no such options. Okay, you can't even imagine those options because you were not brought up in that way. So will you please keep quiet and listen to young people? So yes, you're right. So, but fortunately, money is always a concern. You have to pay tuition, but if you can find some scholarship or some way to get that, so it's good to start planning now. Right? PhD abroad, you don't have to pay. Right? They pay for a PhD, so that's not an issue. But you're too young to do a PhD now. You
Yeah,
can
that
do
is my
a
master's.
master's degree. Okay, let's continue. We have about 5 or 7 minutes. I'm sorry, a little bit less because I was talking to the other person a long time. But anyway, let's continue.
So as you said that people really do not look for options, and you know the situation is changing in young India. We want to explore stuff that are not there in available in India, but I think leveraging technology is one of the skills that you should know in today's world, because everything you can learn online or you can have it uh, in just one click, but people also are not doing that. So leveraging technology can also help you make money and also help you save money in learning skills and stuff. So that's also something that I was looking forward to. And um, since I talked about doing things like here and there, so I've always had this kind of anxiety, and I have always been a type A person, as we studied in psychology, that they want to do everything and they cannot sit still, and I'm like kind of that. So that's why I'm always doing stuff. uh, but when we talk about this education situation in India, that has given me a lot of stress and anxiety. So to help that, I also started, something. We started a mentorship group for CUET aspirants, and we wanted to help them. So I, along with my friend in college only, we started this mentorship group in which we mentored people. And I really want to tell people that it's okay to do unconventional things, and you will find your way. You should, taking the first step is the most difficult. After you do it, you'll find your way if you're confident enough about your interests and stuff. So I really want that more people can come up in this field and they feel confident enough for their choices, and not just that feel intimidated by people who have it all sorted. Maybe it'll take extra time or extra effort, or let's say extra motivation or inspiration, but we'll find our way, right? um,
Yeah, you will. And let me join in with you and say that even though when I was young, we had very few options. We couldn't talk the way you are talking now. It was clear to me, and wasn't clear to me, I did not know it in these terms that I'm talking now. But my teachers knew it, and in class 9, my English teacher said, if you don't want to do your homework, please submit a blank book. Don't submit nonsense. Because when I didn't feel like doing it, I didn't do it well. And when I felt like doing it, it spoke for itself. So teacher gave me an option, which was unknown in those days, and it was a confidential agreement between the teacher and me that, listen, you just don't do it because you will do it your way. And I would, for example, never make an outline for an essay. I still don't. I've never made an outline in my entire life. Why? Because I say, you want an essay or you want an outline? Why do you want an outline? You want an essay? I'll give you an essay. Please, what are you looking for? Say, oh, no, but we need this outline. I say, well, why? Well, I'll just write it, no? So I'll just do it my way. And that has always been my life. I'll just do it my way. I'll get the output that you want. I'm not complaining about the output, but I'm saying I'll do it my way. I'll get the results. But it has, so it was tough for me to come back to India for that reason, because the conformity required is very high. And actually, I couldn't even conform in the US easily. So I actually never took a job for that reason. I took one job, but after that, I said, listen, this thing, there's too much conformism here, and I can't do it. So I'll rather be self-employed, and hopefully I do good enough work that people hire me. But then I can tell them, listen, you have hired me on my conditions, okay? And if you don't like that, then fire me. It's your choice. I'll do the work and I'll get you the results on time. It'll always be there. But in between, don't worry about it.
no limitations to the creativity.
No, but that's the creativity. That's why I could start this channel at this age. Because there's no such channel like it. There's none.
Right.
Anywhere in the world. So how can it be that a man who's lived outside India for 51 years can start a channel for young people in India? Why? It's because there is an innate freedom to do things your way. Now, it could have flopped. That would be my flop. But it succeeded. Why? Because the risk taking is there. Little bit of risk taking, little bit of doing it your way and seeing whether it works. Some things don't work, some things do work. And give it a shot. So instead of sitting in retirement and watching TV, I'm doing this.
Right.
And
So
enjoying
doing
it. So,
doing these kind of things and pursuing what you like, may how unconventional that may be, I think it gives you another kind of happiness that you're your own person and
yeah,
you are not influenced by anybody.
yeah. Okay. All right. Aarushi, thank you so much. I'm really sorry, but I'm running out of time. So unless you have really, please add some final comments and then we can talk a few minutes after this, but please go ahead and close it.
Um, First of all, again, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. I genuinely, like I said in the beginning, that maybe by the end of this conversation, I'll have more clarity on life. And I do. After hearing your thoughts, I feel more confident about my decisions. And I really feel that maybe wherever I'm going is the right direction. And since I'm a firm believer in God, so I think that maybe it was all God's plan and it will work out at the end. And I think at the end I'll be my own person, as I said, and I'll be very happy if
Okay.
when
All right.
everything is done. Thank
Wonderful.
you so much.
All right. Okay. Let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye, everybody.